If you want to stop guessing and start making smarter FIFA World Cup betting predictions, then you need to understand one simple truth. The people who win consistently are not luckier, they are more informed. They use data, patterns, and probabilities to tilt the odds slightly in their favour over time. And that's exactly what you're going to learn here. Most beginners approach World Cup betting emotionally. They back their favourite team, follow hype from social media, or assume big name players automatically guarantee wins. But football doesn't work like that. Upsets happen constantly, especially in international tournaments where teams don't play together as often and chemistry can be unpredictable. That's why data becomes your biggest advantage. It cuts through emotion and shows you what's actually happening beneath the surface. Starts with the most basic but powerful stats. Recent form. Not just whether a team is winning, but how they're winning. Look at their last 5 to 10 matches and analyse the quality of opponents, goal margins and consistency. A team that wins 1-0 repeatedly against strong opponents is often more reliable than a team smashing weak teams 4-0. Context matters. You want to identify teams that perform well under pressure, not just teams that rack up easy wins. Next, you need to understand expected goals, commonly called XG. This is one of the most important modern football metrics. It measures the quality of chances a team creates, rather than just the number of goals scored. For example, if a team scores 2 goals from 2 lucky long shots, their XG might be low. But if another team creates 10 high-quality chances and scores only 1, their XG will be high. Over time, teams with higher XG tend to perform better because they consistently create better opportunities. This helps you spot teams that are underperforming or overperforming based on luck. Defensive stats are just as important. Look at goals conceded, but also dig deeper into shots allowed, XG conceded, and clean sheet frequency. A team that concedes very few high-quality chances is usually more stable in knockout tournaments. Defensive solidity often wins World Cups more than flashy attacking play. Teams that don't concede easily give you more predictable betting outcomes, especially for markets like under goals or both teams to score. Another key factor is head-to-head data, but you need to use it wisely. Many people misuse this stat by looking too far back. International teams change constantly, so matches from 5 or 10 years ago don't mean much. Focus on recent encounters or matches played with similar squads. Also consider tactical matchups. Some teams naturally struggle against certain styles. For example, a possession-heavy team might struggle against a fast counter-attacking side. This kind of pattern is more valuable than just raw win-loss records. Now let's talk about player-level data. Individual performance can swing entire matches in international tournaments. Look at metrics like goals per game, assists, chances created, and defensive contributions. But don't just focus on stars. Sometimes the most important player is not the one scoring goals, but the one controlling the midfield or organising the defence. Injuries and suspensions are also critical. Losing one key player can completely change a team's structure, and betting markets don't always adjust fast enough. Another smart approach is analysing team tendencies in tournaments. Some teams start slow and improve as the tournament progresses, while others peak early and fade. Look at historical patterns for each nation. For example, certain teams are known for strong group stage performances, but struggle in knockout rounds. Others are built for tournament football, focusing on discipline and game management. These patterns can help you predict outcomes beyond just raw skill levels. You should also pay attention to situational stats. For example, how does a team perform when they score first versus when they concede first? Some teams are excellent at protecting leads, while others panic and lose control. This is especially useful for live betting. If you know a team struggles when trailing, you can make smarter in-game decisions when they go behind. Weather, location, and travel can also influence performance. Teams playing in conditions similar to their home environment often have an advantage. Fatigue from long travel distances or tight schedules can affect energy levels, especially in later stages of the tournament. These factors are subtle, but can give you an edge when combined with statistical analysis. Another powerful tool is market odds themselves. Betting odds reflects public opinion and bookmaker adjustments. By comparing odds with your own analysis, you can identify value bets. A value bet is not just picking a winner, but finding a situation where the probability of an outcome is higher than what the odds suggest. This is where long-term profit comes from. Even if you lose some bets, consistently finding value will pay off over time. You also need to understand variance. Football is a low-scoring sport, which means randomness plays a big role. Even the best team can lose due to one mistake or moment of brilliance. That's why no strategy guarantees wins. The goal is not to win every bet, but to make better decisions consistently. Over time, those small edges add up. Bankroll management is another critical piece that many people ignore. Even with great data, you can still lose multiple bets in a row due to variance. If you stake too much on one game, you risk losing everything. Smart bettors use consistent stake sizes and avoid chasing losses. This keeps them in the game long enough for their edge to show results. You should also track your bets and results. This is how you improve. Record what data you used, why you made each prediction, and what the outcome was. Over time, you'll start to see patterns in your decision making. Maybe you overvalue certain stats or ignore key factors. This self-analysis is what separates serious bettors from casual ones. Now let's bring everything together. Imagine you're analysing a World Cup match. You look at recent form and see one team has been consistent against strong opponents. You check XG and notice they create high-quality chances while conceding very little. You review player data and confirm their key players are in good form and fully fit. You consider tactical matchups and see they are well suited to counter the opponent's style. Then you compare this with betting odds and realise the market is undervaluing them slightly. That's a strong, data-driven prediction. But even then, you don't go all in. You place a calculated bet, knowing that even good predictions can fail. This mindset is what keeps you disciplined and profitable over time. The biggest mistake you can make is relying on a single stat or factor. Football is complex, and no single number tells the full story. The power comes from combining multiple data points to build a complete picture. Think of it like solving a puzzle. Each stat adds a piece, and the clearer the picture, the better your prediction. Another thing to avoid is overcomplicating your analysis. You don't need dozens of stats to make a smart decision. Focus on the most impactful ones, like form, XG, defensive solidity, and key player availability. Keep it simple, but consistent. The goal is clarity, not confusion. As the tournament progresses, adapt your approach. Early stages may have more predictable outcomes, while knockout rounds become tighter and more tactical. Teams become more cautious, and matches often have fewer goals. Adjust your betting strategies accordingly, focusing more on undermarkets or close scorelines. At the end of the day, using data and stats doesn't guarantee you'll win every bet, but it gives you a serious edge over people who rely purely on instinct or hype. It turns betting from a gamble into a calculated risk. And that's the difference between losing money for entertainment and building a system that can actually work. If you stay disciplined, keep learning, and consistently apply data-driven analysis, you'll start to see your predictions improve. Not overnight, but gradually. And that's how real progress happens in World Cup betting.